Hey.
Go! Welcome
Hello.
to the Girls Talk with Nicole podcast. For the non-visual viewers, I've got another guest today and I've got somebody new. Let's say hi to Jakub. What is your preference though? Because
Oh my God. So, depends from a person.
okay.
If it's a friend, I actually prefer Kuba.
Do you? Because I was told that
Only if it's a Polish friend.
okay.
Our Eastern European things, you know how it is.
Yeah.
But at work, just Jakub.
Do people botch your name sometimes?
All the time.
So what do they say?
Jakub,
Jakub?
the French ones. They try with Jakub, as we say it in Poland.
Okay.
But they just can't nail the K, the heart of the Jakub. It's just the Jakub. It's like they are choking a bit. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Don't try it. And sometimes Jakub. And I'm like,
You don't like Jacob?
I'm lukewarm about it.
Got it. Yeah, because fun fact, you guys, so in Poland, Jakub, we have a short version to the name. It's Kuba.
Most of our Polish names have like a short version that you usually use with friends. And you have the longer version is more official on your documents and stuff, right? But then it's also useful because when you want to get someone's attention and you use the full name.
Yeah, like
you know,
Alexandra, but then she's dead already.
Yes.
Like so, okay, a few small fun facts. First of all, obviously I have ADHD, so even though this podcast has a title and there's something we are going to talk to and hopefully we're going to stick to the topic, I love going off topic. Like for instance, the name things, right? Because I still have something to add on it. Because my boyfriend works a lot with Polish people. Like, you know, it's a corporate job, but like has a lot to do with Poland. And he asked me like, what is wrong with you guys? Because like you have these long ass names and then all of a sudden it becomes a totally different name. Like he mentioned Alicia, he's like, it's Alicia, but all of a sudden it becomes Ala. Then you have Katarzyna, because they cannot say Katarzyna.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And it's Kasia, I'm like, it's Kasia.
Yeah.
But then you have Alexandra, becomes Ala, and I'm like, that's true. Or like,
Grzegorz and Grzesiu.
Yeah.
And you also have the RZ.
True.
And an Ash, Grzegorz.
True.
Horror.
He has one person that he has to interact with a lot, and this person's name is Grzegorz, and the last name is also something like Szczypczowski or something.
My sister worked in Spain for a couple of months, and her best friend that went with her was, her name was Alexandra, and it's Hola. And Hola in Spanish is like...
Hello. Yeah, that one my boyfriend was the most confused about. It was like, how did you guys go from Alexandra to Hola? And I'm like... Yeah,
makes sense.
It makes sense to me. I don't know why it doesn't make sense to you. But anyways, okay, Kuba. Am I qualified to call you Kuba? Yeah, because I know you told somebody, and my boyfriend, like, he heard it too, that you don't like Kuba. So then since then, he even corrects me. He's like, Jakub. So not Jacob, but Jakub. Yeah, but okay. I am
It's
used
just
to...
too nice sometimes. Also, my first interaction with him when he wanted to go for a hug, but I didn't know if it's fine to give a hug to a straight guy. So we landed in like fist hugging each other.
Oh, my precious little babies. But
how do we know each other?
You and me, or us?
Yeah, I met you like through our shared friend, right? I had the pleasure of going to one of your dance classes. And then we just hit it off, I guess.
Yeah. And can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Gay, background in psychology, had the pleasure of studying in 2 countries, first bachelor's in Poland, in Warsaw, then a master's degree in Maastricht, in the south of Netherlands.
Beauty and brains, ladies and gentlemen.
Super nice. Then I work in HR/people function. I currently work as a people business partner, so I help leaders to lead their teams.
And you do like your job, right?
Love my job. I think I was born to do it. I was doing technical recruitment in the past. I'm great at it, but I don't love it. But with my current job, it feels like home. It just makes a lot of sense in my brain.
What a blessing.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. And I also have a fantastic team. I have a fantastic manager. I really like my company. It has a great purpose of spreading education all across the globe. So I can't complain at all about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice when you love your job because, you spend there so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you guys realize what we're going to talk about today. But okay, should we say that? I don't know, but there's also something I didn't tell you about, another surprise.
Yay! Oh my God, this is so new. There is a surprise with Nicole. No, I thought everything is planned.
For the context, y'all, he didn't know until like 5 minutes before we started recording that's also video. So
enjoy my spotty socks today.
But another surprise that I had for you is I thought it would be nice for my guests. It's a new thing that I decided to introduce.
Okay.
So before we start with the episode, I would like to exchange some compliments. So I'm going to tell you something. Oh wow!
I just want to be like
he's
focused on you.
So I'm going to tell you something I love about you, and then I expect the same in return. Because I feel like it's so nice to be nice to each other, and with this exercise / with this activity, I would like to inspire you guys to say to your friends more often what do you love about them, you know?
Sure.
Okay, you ready?
Sure.
So, one thing as a whole, because it's a few different things that I love about you, is that you are this perfect package of a wholesome human being. So obviously you're very smart, but at the same time you're very funny. One can have deep conversations with you, but also great banter. You have great job, which again reinforces the fact that you're ambitious and smart, but at the same time you follow dance classes, you know how to shake your ass. So you're something that one would call multi-dimensional person, and that's something that I just love in people, when people are like that you're so many things, and on top of that, as a little cherry on top of a cake, you're very kind and thoughtful.
Thank you.
Then what do you like from me?
Oh my God, I feel like it's unfair because you had time to think about it.
I know.
But on top of my head, I actually spoke about it with our shared friend Britt recently, that you are just this power to be reckoned with because you just do stuff. It's as if you have this incredible ability to not hesitate. Mm-hmm. At least it almost seems like it. Like for me, for an outsider like me, when I look at you, you just have an idea and you just do it.
Yeah.
And many people like ruminate and they need time to ramp up, and they have to have a plan and a perfect space. No, with you, it's just like, let's go. So that's one. Two, I was always impressed with how many gigs you have, because you have like 16 jobs, and somehow you still have time to meet with me from time to time, for instance, with all of your other friends as well. And to me, it's just crazy. And you have also like a partner.
Yeah.
So you managed to, you say you are not organized, but you've managed to set your life in a way that you can do all of that stuff.
I'm very grateful for that. And it took my partner a minute to understand it and kind of like fit into it and accept it. But I must give him big props that he managed to do it. Even though it wasn't natural for him, I'm very grateful that he learned to navigate it and fit into that.
There's a third thing as well, and this is purely from your dance classes, because I think you teach a dance style which can be very easily fully sexualized and treated in a very unfair way. And the truth is that your classes are just super wholesome. It's just like, whenever I go there, I feel like it is a safe space, right? So I know that I can be slutty as I want, but we are going to do the affirmation. We are going to be nice to each other. You are going to pause if you see that someone is confused or lost during the class. It is always just like, oh my God, this is just for human beings. This is just so nice.
Oh, I'm going to cut it out and post it as an ad for my classes. Not that they really need an ad. Humble moment.
Always a little bit of PR and marketing, why not?
But thank you, I really appreciate it. And to be fair, some of those things is something like I know about myself and I do like about myself. I hope that you recognize yourself in my compliment to you as well.
I think I struggle with hearing that I'm the whole package, because of course I also know all of the bits that you don't see, right? So I know the bad parts too. But I like hearing it.
Of course, but nobody's perfect, right? Like, we are going to talk about something that's very imperfect about you.
Just frame of reference for our listeners today. We are going into this conversation knowing that one of us, pointing my finger to Nicole, is a little bit biased on this topic.
Slightly biased and traumatized. So I will take it.
And we still know that we love each other very much.
Yes.
And we are both here with good intentions. So,
yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely no hard feelings to each other, but I feel like I might be projecting my hard feelings.
No. And honestly, that was one of the things I wanted to say today. People, girls, listeners, get yourself friends who are just different than you.
Oh, yeah.
But who just treat you with kindness and compassion and understanding. Like get you like friends who are just from different backgrounds, who have different opinions, but with whom you can still have a good conversation.
Yeah, that's something that I also appreciate so much about people when, you can disagree, but in a respectful way. And even if you still don't find common ground, you still, can be kind to each other and just, continue being friends or co-workers or whatever. But in case you're not sure yet, what is it that we're going to discuss? I want to give you a little context, a little introduction. So imagine you met this person, a guy or girl or whatever you're into, and you hit it off so beautifully. Like this person is exactly what you're looking for, which in my case, for instance, would be educated with reasonable job. Doesn't have to be super rich, but just, ambitious, educated, funny. But also at the same time, next to cracking jokes, we can have really deep conversations, fit, has some hobbies like gym, rugby, whatever it is, tall or taller than me, physically attractive, living in Amsterdam. So everything checks. All the boxes are checked. And we just have this chemistry. We have great click and we can be together for hours and we never get bored of each other. And that person likes you back, right? They tell you that you're special for them. They take you on nice dates. They tell you that they're not seeing anybody else. So you already in your head imagine what will it be like when you guys get married, when you finally move in together, because maybe this person lets you leave the toothbrush in their house. So you kind of start marking their house. But they tell you loud and clear that they do not want a committed relationship. The problem is though, because of all these aforementioned things, this very crucial information gets right above your head. And you just
doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick at all. And you're like, yeah, he or she doesn't want to commit now. I get it, but they will change. And that's the thing, they won't change. But we are going to discuss it a little bit with Kuba, because I've learned a few weeks ago that he is that person. So he is the problem in quotations mark, as in like that perfect person that you would love to settle with, but he just won't goddamn commit. And I have some questions from you guys, but also I'm so happy that you are this person, because I was really intrigued to hear from you. Like, why? Like, you meet this partner that you like as well. And like, I just don't get it. But also, yeah, of course, there's some fault on our side, like the people who forget about that crucial piece of information. But do you have anything that you want to start off with? Because, I gave you like profound introduction. Do you want to go with questions?
We can go to the questions. I just wanted to add to what you said.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's really important is, from my side, it is or was very transparent from the beginning, right? So there was no game of, in a couple of months, maybe this, might be that. No, from the beginning it was, hey, actually, I'm at a stage of my life where I want to focus on my career, I want to focus on my friends, I want to focus on my family, and we have this great chemistry, so let's maybe give it a shot. However, I will still need, for example, maybe to see someone else from time to time, not romantically, but just purely physically, as it is very common in our gay community. So that's maybe one thing. The second thing is, I just ain't got time for games, to be honest. So I just don't have this mindset of playing the game, right? I just don't feel like I'm manipulating anyone. I don't feel like I'm setting up someone because I have some kind of a malicious intention. Actually, the opposite. I just want for everyone to have a good time.
Yeah, but we spoke about it a few weeks ago, but that's also what I found very interesting, because even though, like, let's say your people, let's call it people A, and I'm gonna be the people B. So your type of people, like sometimes, because there's also this other group which is malicious and like manipulates and lies. Let's not talk about that. That's not the topic of conversation. But I mean, like people like you who indeed are very transparent. The thing is that a lot of times you end up being the asshole after all. In a lot of circumstances, like it didn't happen to you, but I told Kuba that in my experience, but also from hearing stories from girls, I know that a lot of times what happens is that there is this situation where they're dating somebody, usually a guy, and same scenario, different sexual orientation, but after all, we all people, and some of us crave love.
All of us crave love in some way, shape,
well,
or
some
form.
of us value freedom more than love, but it's fine. We're going to talk about it later. But the thing is that like a lot of times, sadly, actually, you end up being the asshole because, like I said, I only see what I want to see, the great time that we're having, the fact that you let me leave my stuff in your house, us spending few nights in a row together. So then when at some point I'd be like, noticing that you're talking to somebody else, I will be like heartbroken and angry, and then you'll be confused because you're like, wait, I did tell you that we are not in a committed relationship.
Fair. And I'll be just talking about my experience.
Of course, go ahead.
I fully take ownership that if we are spending time together, the focus should be on person B, like you, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm with you and we are in my place, your place, restaurant somewhere, I would also find unacceptable to give this kind of attention to someone else.
At
right?
the moment.
At the moment. Yeah, right. So if I'm with someone that I'm dating right now, my attention is fully on them, right?
Yeah.
Because this is also for me what counts as quality time, because as I've said, I ain't got time for games, right?
But that makes us even more confused. For the record, it's not happening to me right now, thank God. But back in the days, like years ago, that would make me even more confused because I'd be like, yeah, I'm the only person that you're seeing anyways. Why do you need this window to have freedom to like basically hook up with somebody else?
Relevant piece of information that we forgot to mention, I was in an exclusive committed relationship for many, many years.
Sure.
And around a year ago it ended, right? So my story, like my romance lasted for almost a decade with one guy. So I think it's safe to say that maybe I missed a big chunk of my 20s to experiment and go get myself out there and just try stuff out, right? So specifically in my example, maybe I'm just using this time to just see what's up and what works with me sexually, but also just romantically. And sometimes it's just very simple. Sometimes you just see someone who is just physically your type, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. And you're like, woo! But it doesn't mean that you want to date them, right? It doesn't mean that you would like to go for a dinner with them. It doesn't mean that you would like to do movies with them. It doesn't mean that you would like to hear what's happening with your family. It's not the same.
I hear you, and to a certain extent, I do understand you, because it is indeed like a very important piece of information. Like sometimes those people A, they just go out of like a really long relationship, and indeed like they need time to like get to know themselves, learn who are they without this partner, explore.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, okay, you got out of the relationship, it ended for whatever reasons, and then you're single, and then you meet somebody who are like, woo, that's my type, personally, but also like physically, and everything clicks. Don't you have this like thing in your stomach or like in your heart telling you like, yeah, this is a person that I want to settle with?
What's in my heart more is that I would like to feel complete by myself.
Yeah.
I would like to be independent, and we both like this word, successful, or just like so sure of themselves and confident.
Yeah.
And then while being all of this already, to add something and to share all of this with someone, right?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I need someone else to complete me in a way, right? So it's more about I'm sure that there are so many amazing people around me who are interesting and generous and funny and all that and sexy, attractive, all of this, right? But it doesn't mean that I'm missing that piece in myself.
Yeah. Okay. A question.
Go.
Do you, because sometimes in these situations, right? Like you saying that you don't want to commit right now, is there a chance that you would commit in the future if the person is amazing?
I haven't felt like that yet. So I also don't promise that, right? I've never said anything like, oh, but maybe in half a year it will be different.
Yeah.
I think it's such a move because this is like blindsiding people, right? You're making this fake promise that, today I'm like this, but in the future I might be exactly what you're looking for. And that's just a shitty thing to do to someone.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't say that, that's really nice, but you also don't think that.
Don't think that I may want a committed relationship in the future with that specific person.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
Because I think that is something I believe we should feel, right? I don't think it's logical. I think when you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of people that you can date who are just fine/great. And there are some individuals who are just like you are struck by lightning, right? There's just the chemistry works, everything that you're interested in is just in them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a completely different category. So I haven't been struck by a lightning for a very long time now.
Do you think indeed, like for those people, right, who don't want to commit, not per se for you, but also like as a psychologist, right? Do you think when you have like type A person, right, not willing to commit because maybe they got hurt, maybe they've been through rough breakup after many years, maybe they just moved to the city, whatever the reason is, but they don't want to like commit as at the moment.
They're experiencing change.
Yeah. Do you think that I have two questions. Do you think when they indeed meet the person that will like poof, blow their mind, that all of a sudden they'll be like, okay, nothing matters right now anymore. I do want to commit to this person. Yeah. That's question one. I want to ask question two before I forget. And also, do you think that people who say things like, look, I don't want to commit right now and I don't want to feel the pressure, but I'm not saying we won't end up in a relationship. Do you think this is literally what they feel or it's a little bit of manipulation?
Okay, so the first one. Which question first?
First one, yeah.
Okay, which was,
do you think those people who don't want to commit, they really don't want to commit, but then there might be this one person who will like instantly change their mind?
Two things or three things come to my head immediately. First, I would be actually afraid to be struck by lightning like this because I put in so much work for my life to be fascinating and healthy and stable and all of those things. And it would seem that such a massive persona coming into my life right now would flip it upside down, right? So you put in all of this energy into setting the blocks well, and then someone comes in like, poof, here I am. And I think maybe when you already feel this, when you feel that, then it makes sense. But without that feeling in my body right now, I would be probably just scared.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I have all of those pieces that are important for me, right? Like friends like you and everyone else. And then suddenly there's just someone, and I want to spend half of my week with them, right?
Yeah, but what if they just like fit? You're like, oh, this person really fits so well.
That's my second thought, and that's difficult for me to imagine because I feel my life is pretty complete right now. Mm-hmm. I'm not missing much. I get lonely, right? I just want to be hugged sometimes. I just want to cuddle from time to time. I just want to have sex with someone. I would like to kiss someone every now and then, right? But I can survive without that. And I also think those are special things that you shouldn't do with just anyone.
Yeah. And this is something that us girls, like when you say that, this is what us girls instantly think. And we also talk a lot about it. Like indeed, almost every single human being on this planet needs that warmth, right? Like we need hugs, kisses, some sort of intimacy. We want to have somebody to watch movie with on Friday night or Saturday when we're staying in. And then we always like talk about it like, okay, so even those like fuck boys want that, why don't they just commit and have like a healthy relationship? Because basically that, what we just described, is already like 50% of relationship. And then if you add like being friends on top of that, and okay, planning future, that's another percentage. But if you add friendship on top of that, that's like already extra 20%. So you basically 60% in a relationship. Then there's only commitment and future plans missing.
Maybe.
So like, what like why do you need this room to explore and experience different things?
I think there is a fantastic researcher and a psychologist, Dr. Esther Perel. She talks about it a lot, that relationships, good relationships which maintain long-term tension and romanticism and sexual like energy in them, need to contain two things that have to be true at the same time.
Okay.
So you need familiarity, which creates intimacy, right? Mm-hmm. So you feel seen and understood by that person, right? But then you also would like to have a little bit of ambiguity, because this is what powers desire. So you have to balance the ambiguity part, and you have like, what is the things that you already maybe you've heard about, but you're not sure about this person, right? So, oh, do they have a new hobby? Maybe they have a friend that I don't know about, right? The mystery part. And then the familiarity part. So if you have both, theoretically, the tension should be there. Right?
Yeah.
So I think in my case, I just crave the unknown because I had so much familiarity during my long-term relationship.
Okay, cool.
That I'm full of it. Right?
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen, and it's, don't get me wrong, guys, it's awesome to be in a committed long-term relationship. We just drifted apart, it's fine. But if you have it for so many years, then you wonder, okay, what is the other side of this coin, right? Why people go on dates with a stranger, why people hook up with dark places, why people go on vacation with someone they know for a week. Like, those are the things that I just want to explore because I have only one life, right?
Fair point. Do you think that that mindset that you're talking about exploring all the unknown, has started or has been reinforced because of dating apps? Because 10 years ago, you wouldn't, or maybe 15 years ago, you wouldn't have so much options, right, to get to know people. Like right now, you basically have an online database where you can meet hundreds and hundreds of strangers, whereas like 15 years ago, that would be like, well, friends of a friend, and maybe, I don't know.
I think it gives us the illusion of availability, right? You have the illusion that there is always going to be someone else, and I personally think that's a very unhealthy mindset to have. That you tell yourself, oh, it didn't work out with this guy, maybe there's another, right? This one slid into my DMs, I'll just message that one guy. The thing is, that's just an illusion, because most of the times the things that we look for and the things that are not working are in us, like with ourselves.
Very good point.
Right? Because then you can, and this actually ties back to what you said at the beginning of our conversation, because you said, maybe they will change. And here's a trick. I date people that I do not want to change.
Yeah.
I want to take them whole as they are, and maybe they will adapt a little bit, maybe I will adapt a little bit, but I fundamentally do not want them to change.
Yeah.
Because what I find attractive is already there, right? So I can't recall a situation when I was seeing a guy and I was just like, oh my God, he is so tall and handsome and successful and kind and generous, but maybe he should switch how he treats his mom, right? And that, because that's not my job. Like, I don't want to be the person who's like, boo-boo, you are great. If you can fix those 3 things, you're perfect. That's toxic.
Yeah.
And I also don't want for someone to treat me that way, right? I would like for someone who wants to spend time with me and date me and maybe build a relationship with me in the future, just to see me and be like, oh my God, this is so great. And just roll with it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I do want to say something more about that. Oh yeah, because again, back to that exploration part, right? Like 15 years, oh my God, my expensive car.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll put it on my not expensive phone.
iPhone Pro. No, you know what the thing is? It's because this couch is the very first couch in my life that together with my partner, we both knew.
Yeah.
And it did cost a chunk of money, for me personally. And because it's still not stained, it's just a few months old, we still care, or I still care.
You still don't have the first stain?
No.
Oh my God.
Last,
Okay, no, I'm putting it.
And for the listeners, it's like light gray, kind of that soft velour material.
It is lovely.
So
you can
like
write on it actually, isn't that right?
Yeah, it has this like, So I'm still a little bit like, actually during summertime, here's a side story. My family came and somebody visited with a child. Yeah, like a 2-year-old or something. And the kid ate chocolate near my couch. And then I saw like a little stain and I freaked out. My grandma, my mom was here and my best friend. And I was like, why is there a stain? And then like a mother of the child was like, yeah, that's what you get when you have children in the house. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have children. I don't have children. That's why I have an expensive couch, and also they're not my children.
It's so true. I have so many friends who have kids and they say, like, we just can't have nice things anymore.
Yeah, but that's you. When you bring your children into somebody's house who has expensive things, it's your responsibility to, I don't know, hold your child on a leash. I don't care. Like, so I was so upset, and my grandma was also panicking together with me, and she started like cleaning it. And thank God she managed to like wash it off. But I was like, okay, am I like an evil auntie now? And I was like, no, because But at the same time, when our friends come over with dogs, I let the dogs sit on the couch. I do put a blanket over it, though.
So you're saying you have selective standards.
True. No, but like when, for instance, our friend is coming with her doggy, I put like blanket over it so that like his hair and everything.
And also, your place, your rules.
True, right? Yeah, but so that's why. Anyway, so my question was like, I get it again, like exploration, very fair point. And to be fair with you, like I do agree with you with like a lot of things that you say. Like I totally think that you're right, but I'm just playing a little bit of, how do you call it, devil's advocate, for the sake of other party, because I've been through this type of situationship, semi-relationships, whatever, and it was really difficult to understand, especially when I was in it, like it was really difficult to wrap my head around it. Like, okay, why don't you just get over this, your fears or, I don't know, unwillingness to commit when we are so good together? And, now I'm outside of it and it's been years since I experienced it. I'm in a committed, happy, healthy relationship. But still, every time I think of this experience, it just brings back inside me this, like, I don't want to say pain, but something, the frustration.
The body keeps the score,
Yeah.
Maybe if I can frame it a bit, right? So what you are describing for me is a choice situation with two adults.
Yeah.
Person type A and person type B, right? And person type A made a choice. They made the decision already, right?
Yeah.
So they are saying, we are great together. I'm not looking for something serious long term. I'm not ready for it right now. This is where I'm at right now in my life. Here is what I can offer, right? They made a choice. They said, full package of information on your lap landing. Make your own choice. So I actually think it's on you to make the choice, right? You should literally look at it and say, okay, so is this going to work for me or not, given my plans, right? And if someone pretends like they can't hear a part of that story, they're just playing themselves.
Yes, right? I 100% agree. And I also think that this is a lot of time, I don't know, like I don't want to say, I feel like this is how women think a lot, but I have a feeling that it's a universal thing for people. It just depends whether you like the person A or person B, which by the way I also have different name for. I feel like it's connected to attachment styles, but let's come back to it later. But I feel like, okay, I'm just going to speak from like my personal experience and my girlies. I feel like when we hear this information, we romanticize what can happen in the future. And indeed, I feel like that's a mistake of a lot of women, that they don't they don't listen to what's being said to them. Because if I could give myself advice like me from now to me from the past, if I could give advice to women who are dating right now, that's like a crucial thing that I would tell them. Listen to, like, first of all, think what you want and really stick to it. So if you feel like you're ready for a committed relationship and you really want to move in with somebody, plan family, and, you know, really like build future together, when you go for a first date with a guy who's like saying things like, yeah, you know, like, I don't want to commit because XYZ, or even without giving a reason, that's already a sign for you to thank for a lovely date, even if it was amazing, and never see him again. Because
if you really purely are going for like the long-term relationship, because it's still fine to have some fun along the way, right?
No, because
Why
that's
not?
going to sidetrack you. Because
fair, 100%.
Because that's what a lot of women do. They're like, yeah, okay, I do want a relationship, but we had such a lovely time and such a great conversation, great guy. I might as well just like see him again because, you know, dating market is so shit. There's so much trash guys, and this guy at least didn't stink, has a job, has a house, and doesn't have 3 baby mamas.
It is also so funny for me to hear that the bar is so low.
It is, because the dating pool is not a pool anymore, it's a sewage with dead fish. So if you find like a semi-alive one that sure doesn't want to commit, but at least, like I said, doesn't stink and doesn't have 3 baby mamas and, I don't know, has a job, you're like, wow, it's either this
or the homeless, I don't, you know.
Or the homeless guy that lives in like, I don't know, a tree house.
A tree house or something else. Anywho, that's another side story. I hear you, and I think it's so valid, and I fully understand what you mean, right?
Yeah.
It's just don't get distracted. I 100% agree, right? Some of the guys are hyper-focused on like locking on things, but usually it's about workouts. I think locking on to get a proper relationship is also fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to find someone who wants to build a family with you or like buy a house or something, sure, just don't get sidetracked. And something important that I would like to maybe bring back from our previous conversation, so important, the actions have to match the words.
Yes.
And the words have to match the actions.
Period. Very
because
important.
I want to talk about that because I love that part. And what we realized last time was that my actions were very kind of like almost relationship-like.
Yes.
And my words were more like, oh, but I just want to date you. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
You're a great guy. You're generous, attractive, funny, and all those things. And I can understand the clash. I did a little bit of self-reflection and introspection.
Very grown up of you.
And at the same time, I just find it very natural to do those things. I find it natural to have an evening like that and just chat about, what's bothering you, how are you feeling, and maybe you'd like to watch a movie, maybe let's cuddle a bit. Because for me, that's just a good time.
Yeah.
But I also understand how that can be
confusing. For somebody who has different
wants, this is a sign that the God changed his mind.
Yeah, exactly. But indeed, that's a very good point, and I really also like it that you brought up, because that's also like one lesson that I've learned after many disappointments. So ladies and gentlemen, for your own sake, pay attention whether those two things are matching, because sometimes you also have people who do the opposite. So like, especially again, from my experience, men, like they're gonna tell you everything you wanna hear. They're gonna tell you like, yes, I want to settle with you and let's have babies and let's get married and I wanna introduce you to your mom. But then they see you once a week, they don't respond to your messages. That is also a sign like, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. This is not like, it's just not matching. So basically, you're not gonna get what you're trying to get from him. Yeah. And I just really wish that more women were quicker to just cut it off. It's very difficult because then you're lonely and then you have to go again for dates with this stinking dead fish, homeless, jobless, trashy man. But yeah, that I feel like being alone for a while is still better than being delusional and wasting time with somebody like you. As in like, because
type.
It's so tricky because you can spend like months, maybe even years in this type of situationship because it's comfy, right? If you like, tell me.
Fully agree. And what if both sides want that? What if there are two I'm type A?
Yeah.
What if there are two type A adults and they both say, my family is very important for me this year, my work is very important for me this year, my gig, my whatever else is important to me this year, and you are also great, and I think we have great chemistry. Let's continue doing what we are doing. And is it fine if it's like this?
Then it's fine. But the problem is that I feel like a lot of times one party doesn't mean it. They just compromise on the surface on their goals. But if truly you meet somebody who really, really is on the same page, that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Almost impossible.
I just don't believe this. And I think this is the part when we just don't see it differently, right? Because if we are saying there's type A and type B wants long-term relationship, type A wants to have a bit more adventures right now. If you can find so many type B people who build stuff together, surely you can find a lot of type A people as well.
And I think it's time to bring one of my theories. I just realized today that this type A and type B actually a lot translates to avoidant people and anxious people. And according to the book have you read the book, Attachment Styles?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So according to this book, you're almost out of frame, but it's fine. He's literally proving what I'm about to say. According to this book, avoidant people, give an applause to Jakub.
That is actually, I did a test. I have an avoidant attachment style. Yes.
Voila. They usually end up dating anxious people.
And then you get the anxious avoidant spiral.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And the problem is that avoidant and anxious people are the majority in the dating pool because secure people usually end up in a relationship and they stay in it. So then, actually, literally today, I realized oh yeah, this is what it is. This people B, they just want somebody to tell them that they're there no matter what. They want the stability. They want relationship. Sometimes it's a little bit too toxic because they need too much reassurance. Fair point. I know you want to say that, and I agree. But then you have avoidant people who push and pull. So they give you a little bit of relationship experience.
No, but the push and pull is the disrupted.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So the avoidant is more I am here, and if we are having a tough time, I'm going to go away for a bit, and I'm going to come back when I feel like I can handle this.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas the anxious attachment style would say, can we please merge together to make sure that everything is fine?
Yeah. That's the thing. That's true. But I feel like that is a little bit of an answer to your question whether people A can find each other and B in this perfect uncommitted situationship.
Yeah.
I feel no, that's it can happen, but I feel
But it feeds the mystery that I've mentioned earlier, right? So if you're an anxious person, you see that someone who is maybe sometimes not accessible to you, but they are there most of the time, that is also ooh, what are they hiding? Mystery, right?
True.
On the flip side, if you are more of an avoidant person and you see someone who just wants to be there for you all the time, you're oh my God, what beautiful qualities do they have inside to be able to stomach me for such a long time, right? Again, you know what I mean? It just clicks.
Yeah, but then still, a lot of times, long term, it doesn't work between avoidant and anxious people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know if it was mentioned in this book or if I have read it somewhere or if I've seen it on TikTok, the most reliable information source ever. But no, I think I've read it somewhere where it's more reliable source, that some people can change or heal your attachment style. So let's say you can be more anxious, but then when you are with secure person, they can kind of neutralize your anxiety and help you to become more secure. Not fully, because attachment styles develop from childhood, but depends on your partner. Apparently your attachment styles can also diverge. Is that a word? Diverge?
Fluctuate?
Fluctuate?
Maybe. unsure about it because, as you're saying, it's one of those psychological patterns which develops itself when we are very young and small and very fragile in a way. So I would be surprised if that's something that can maybe change within half a year or 2 years. Maybe if you're talking about a decade, maybe then, because you accumulate just so many experiences that your brain rewires itself, and then sure, maybe that's a possibility. But also imagine another situation, right? Imagine how horrifying it would be if it means that if you are completely fine, then within half a year you might develop an anxious attachment style, right? So if you are correct, I would hope that it takes a longer time to maybe slowly shift towards one specific type or another. Otherwise, it would be super scary, no?
True, it would. Yeah. But I guess, because in this book, they did say that anxious people vibe better with secure people. Basically, secure people match with everyone.
The holy grail. Yes. The panacea of the relationship. Yes.
And the smallest percentage of the society.
Thank you, generation of our parents. That was great. Thank you for the economy and for this.
Yeah, exactly. But well, then I feel like they would be like that type C personality. Okay, can you give me an answer for the second question that I asked? What about those people who also are a big part of this dating pool, and I really don't like them because they're even worse than you, because they give you hope. So they say, look, I don't necessarily want to commit now, but I'm not saying that we won't end up in a relationship. Like they say this usually, I'm open to relationship. Which to me, when I started dating seriously, was also like, no, thank you. I want somebody who wants a relationship and knows it. But what do you think might be in their mind? Do you think they mean it?
I think, like with many other ways of dealing with people who are playing around a bit, it's either about them or the other person, right? So if it's about them, I would say that either they just are unable to self-reflect and know what they want. So maybe they also delude themselves into believing that, oh, maybe I will want a relationship in 6 months, right? Because sometimes some people just don't want to believe, or they don't want to hear that they are not able to have a long-term safe relationship, right? Sometimes there's just something in us that we didn't talk about with someone, and it's festering inside, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to see it because you have a job and you have maybe family, dependence, all that, right? So that's one. Two, maybe they are just lying, simple, right? Just they know who they are, but they also like the attention.
Yeah.
And they just want it as much as they can, right? And they need it to feed their ego. So that's about what might be happening inside of them. The other thing is what they do with the other person, right? So either they wish them to fulfill their dreams, right? And then they steer in that direction of promising that, oh, maybe I will deliver in the future, right? Believe me, maybe you can change me. Po polsku, in Polish saying, my God, mój Boże. Imagine how toxic it is if you're using the person that you are dating to get better.
Oh, but a lot of people do that.
She will heal me. She is so great. She will show me how to love. That's really bad.
Very, very, very bad.
And I think that's one of the things that can be happening if they are manipulating the other person, right?
Yeah, but it's not always manipulation, would you say?
I think if you are unsure, if someone asks you the question and they say, but like you are asking me the question, right? Do you think that in half a year you will want a relationship? And in that specific moment, you're unable to say yes or no, just maybe don't say anything and just say the honest truth, like, I don't know.
But then you know that you might lose me, because then I might walk away.
But that's the adult thing to do, right? Because saying as a grown-ass man or woman, I don't know, is just an adult and mature thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, fair point. I walked away when I oh my goodness, I'm an English teacher, you guys. When I grew up, when I decided to choose myself, when I heard this, I walked away.
And that is probably the best thing you can do, no? Just for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you want to find sorry, I just want to finish the sentence.
Go ahead.
You just want to have the person who says yes, right? You just want to have a person who either says, yes, in half a year I'm going to pay off my car and get rid of my debt and I'll be ready to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes it's really practical stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not always just, oh, I don't know if my religion's allowed it, oh, I don't know if I'll be emotionally ready. Sometimes it's just life that's happening.
One practical thing, like maybe like you want to switch jobs and that takes so much mental space.
As long as the practical thing is not a divorce.
Yeah, well, that's a different one. Yeah, I would not go for a guy who needs to get a divorce first.
No.
Yeah, I feel like very impressive, but somehow in this shit show, I still managed to keep my standards high. Still dated some dead fish or half dead fish.
Before we go into the questions, because I see that you pull out the laptop, can we promise to our listeners that we have 2 pieces of advice for type A and type B people at the end of the pod?
Okay. Stick till the end because we have some very good advice. Maybe we can, I don't know. Okay, let's see how it works because I do have obviously advice for, I do have advice for type A and type B, like one each.
Okay, one each from both of us.
Okay, cool.
Amazing.
Got it. Okay, so I gave you an opportunity, you guys, to ask some questions. And obviously, the way I framed the question was a little bit biased. So for the ones that haven't seen it, I said, what question would you ask to somebody who is perfect material to settle? AKA, like I said, great job, great personality, right age, everything just checks. You have great time together, but they just won't commit. Okay. Question number 1. I haven't read those questions, so they're new to me too. It's a long one. What can I do to make you feel safe to commit to me without losing your freedom? Okay, that's question number 1.
For me personally, I would feel safe if I feel seen, if I know that I can count on you to give me space when I'm asking for it. And this is important because it only works if I know when I need space, right? If I communicate, hey, this is a bit much more, let's maybe get back to this topic in a day or 2. That's 2. And 3, I'm not sure if that's common for everyone who has an avoidant attachment style and type A. I thrive with context and with just what's happening with your life. Just knowing what's going on, what's up, being included, so that I can feel that we are close.
Okay, I think that's a fair answer. You ready for question number 2?
Can I add? Okay. And just maybe if I'm projecting on the person who asked the question, so I would like to ask you to trust me that when I ask for space, it just means that I have to regroup and get back to you.
Yeah.
And I would like for you to trust me that is going to happen. Right?
Yeah, that's actually very good point that you're making here because it is also a very good advice for people in a relationship. I had a conversation with my friends who are most in relationships, and we were talking about miscommunication and also different ways of kind of like recharging after a busy day or arguments. So you have people who just need space, like they need, and I guess again it comes back to like the avoidance / anxious attachment style. So you have people who after a busy day just need to be alone. They don't want to talk, they just want to sit on the couch, scroll on the phone. And then you have those people that take it personal. They're like, but why can't I just be there for you? Why
As our shared friend would say, do you hate me?
Literally. Yeah, literally like that. Yeah.
And I fully agree with you. Let's maybe remember that we are focusing on the attachment styles today, but there's also so much more.
Of course.
Right? So there are people who have low social battery.
Yeah.
There are people who are just depressed a little bit and they need something else. There are people who are just ADHD. or neurodivergent, and maybe they just need contact to stabilize themselves a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So it is about attachment,
Of course.
but it is also about the other parts that
of
make
course,
us stick.
yeah, there's so much more to it. But finally, I realized that in my relationship, I have that. So my boyfriend, I feel like we both have that on different moments, but my boyfriend is the type of person that after a busy day at work, he just needs to like be left alone for like half an hour, an hour. And I was like, wow, I'm shocked to say that. Oh my God, speaking of the devil, he's just coming back. Watch out, baby, because we are filming, so you have to like go underneath and stuff. So when we were talking with my friends, they were saying like, yeah, you know, like my boyfriend. So my friend was saying like, yeah, when I am coming back from a busy day at work, I just want to sit down and do nothing, and I don't want to talk to anybody. And then my boyfriend, it's noise canceling, so you won't hear it. And then my boyfriend is like all over the place, walking around and asking me like, is there anything I can do something for you? I feel so useless right now. And she's like, I just want peace, you know? Like, and then he's taking it personal. And I was like, that's funny, because I have that in my relationship, but I've learned that it has nothing to do with me. So I just leave my boyfriend, I let him do whatever he wants to do. And then I know that like in an hour, 2, 3, we're gonna cuddle, you know? So I learned to not take it personal.
Because both can be true, right? This person might need a little bit of space just to decompress. And then they are like, oh, please cuddle me. Please let me hug you.
Yeah, but indeed, like you have to like believe the other person that has nothing to do with you, that this person will come back when they're like charge their battery. Okay, question number 2. What are you scared of losing when you would commit? What will not be worth what you gain?
Okay, those are 2 questions, right? So first question, what I would be afraid of losing? I think I've mentioned this, but I spend a lot of time of building my pieces of life, right? So my hobbies, my career, my friendships, my complicated family situation, my health, all of this, right? And there are multiple blocks in all of those areas. And all of them are super important. And I think I would be afraid that I won't be able to accommodate all of this already.
Yeah.
Because the things that I'm currently accommodating are all for me extremely important. Because when you're trying to fit in so many pieces in your life, you have to prioritize, right?
True.
So you are going to eventually naturally get rid of the things that are not working for you, like maybe friendships that are crap, right? Or toxic family relationships and stuff. So I would just be afraid that all of the things that I already labeled as important won't be handled with care.
Fair point.
And what was the second part of the question?
What will not be worth what you gain? It's a little bit difficult phrase, but I feel like what this person is trying to ask is it not worth it, that commitment and the stable relationship, is it not worth it of gaining, I think?
It probably is, right? Because it also happened to me with the guy that I was dating recently, that I did shift my priorities, right? I did shift my workout routines, and I did shift my working hours a little bit. I did shift how often I've met my friends. And sometimes I was just so in the flow with that guy, and we had such a fantastic time for many days in a row that I just kind of forgot about all of that.
Yeah.
But then I catch myself thinking, oh shit, what happened with everything that I've planned, right? Because it just got delayed and delayed, and that creates a little bit of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Because then suddenly you're not doing simple stuff, like you're not doing 4 workouts a week, you are doing 1 or 2. You are not seeing your friend once every 2 weeks, you're seeing them once every 4 weeks, right? So suddenly everything starts to get, take more and more time in between.
Yeah. Because, sometimes a partner can be also your support system, right? Like we spoke about my boyfriend. Of course, it did shift. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do spend less time with my friends, but because he learned to fit in my lifestyle, and I compromised some things. But then, we met each other. Not in the middle. He met me.
At least you know.
Yeah. But so in my case, I feel like he in a way facilitated my life and my goals and everything that I didn't have to like compromise of anything that was important. If anything, he helped me to excel at that.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you strike me as a person who is quite good at protecting your boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm not that good at it, right? So I will take liberties when I will accommodate the other person.
Yeah.
Because as I've mentioned before, I just want for them to also have a great time with me.
Yeah.
Right? I would like to see that reflection of myself in their eyes, which is just so available, and sometimes it hits me, it bites me back, right? Because I seem so available, some people just feel like they can take and take and take.
Yeah.
And it's great for a weekend or two, but if it's happening across multiple weeks or multiple months, what I start to feel is just, oof, that's too much.
Yeah. Right. There are those relationships where, people just stop their life, and I'm like, girl, like this person's not going to run away if you continue going for dance class. And
you also then, sometimes they appear just joined at the hip. They have to do everything together, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, God bless, especially when you're young and you feel like this is the way to go.
My mom did that at some point. Like, she lived with her boyfriend, she worked with him. Yeah, that's it. That's basically all they did, non-stop together.
Yeah. There was one thing that I wanted to add. So there's this question, right? So what I would be afraid of losing, and I think
what are you scared of in general?
One aspect of it is also the freedom and flexibility. And it's not freedom in the sense that I would like to do whatever without any consequences. Not at all. It's just because you're juggling so many pieces. If you have to tighten up your time even more and your schedule, I would feel also afraid that I won't have the flexibility to accommodate if my friend has to reschedule, or I have to do something with my diet and stuff, right? And I think losing that flexibility at the cost of an unknown relationship very early on is a bit heavy.
Yeah. Okay, it's not an advice, and I definitely don't recommend it to everyone, but what I think helps a lot with fitting in a relationship in your schedule without changing your schedule and your life too much is moving in together.
Oh, you're saying, I know this guy for 3 weeks now.
Yeah. Who would that be? Well, it worked for me, but definitely would not recommend it to everyone. Could go really wrong. Okay, next question. Why? Okay, that's a passive aggressive one. Why would I ask? It's not worth my time and energy. I would walk away. As you should. Okay, here's a serious one. What trauma keeps you from having a healthy commitment?
That's a loaded question.
Feel free to answer to any extent.
It's, first of all, never ask people about their traumas point blank, because they are not going to be honest about it. Especially maybe in a one-to-one setting, high trust, high confidence, of course, sure, but in a setting like this, let's see. I think what I've mentioned before about being in a long-term, almost a decade-long relationship and going through all of the phases together, including buying an apartment together, moving to a different country together, all that stuff, it makes you also realize, because I'm also 29 right now, that you don't really have that much time for so many truly long-term relationships, right? So maybe I'm just trying to be a bit more careful with to whom do I truly, truly commit to.
That's a very fair point. Would you like to get married?
In Netherlands, sure. In Poland, it's not possible.
Well, yeah, but like, why would you like to come back to Poland?
No.
Yeah.
For business, yes. For like, if I were to establish a company, yes. Our economy is fantastic, but for like lifestyle, I would not go there probably within the next 5 years.
I'm sorry, that's still like sidetrack, but you think economy in Poland is fantastic?
Polish economy is one of the top 20 fastest growing economies.
Okay, it's growing. Because, I mean, what do I know? I don't go there a lot, but like what I heard is that salaries are still not matching.
Yes, costs of living in Warsaw are crazy.
Yeah. And that's the thing, that like the costs of living are matching the European standard, but the salaries in a lot of occupations
I would say
still
that
don't.
Like people with our jobs make maybe half the money that we make, maybe a little bit less. And if you compare prices in Warsaw to Amsterdam, I would say Warsaw is maybe 20% cheaper.
Yeah.
Right?
Somebody asked me before, like, oh yeah, how much is rent in Poland? And I'm like, to be fair, in like, not even like a big city, but a normal city, like you would definitely pay like 1,000 euros for a small apartment, which is insane. Anyways, that's not the topic. But okay, next question. Attachment styles, but I don't know how to open that convo.
With someone.
Yeah, so I feel like to person like this, right? Like if you have this click with somebody, that person say that they would probably ask them about attachment styles. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do I have an advice for you? There is a podcast about attachment styles. It's a lovely podcast. Someone recommended it to me. A very, very wise person recommended it to me.
Yeah.
Just bring it up during dinner. Like, hey, I've been listening to this podcast. It's about attachment styles. Have you heard about them? Perchance, do you know what is yours?
Do you think it's relevant and important information these days in dating scene to know what's your attachment style, maybe love languages, or do you think it's a little bit overrated?
Depends what do you want to do with that conversation.
Accommodate it.
No, I mean, do you want to use it seriously or just do you want to label that person? Because if you just want to use it as a label, it's not going to work. If you just really want to understand and support that and also do some internal discovery to also understand what is your attachment style, what are its advantages and disadvantages, go for it. You can only grow this way.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's just for labeling, forget about it. Like there's so many other labels that you could use.
True. Okay. What's your parents' relationship looked like?
My parents had a very volatile marriage. They divorced when I was, I want to say 8 years old. And then my father disappeared from our lives with my sister. He came back when I turned of age, so 10 years later. And
So they're not on speaking terms.
They're not on speaking terms, yeah. My parents divorced a long time ago. They are not on speaking terms. Very intrusive question, by the way. I feel like I know why. So let me just say it. I also did 4 years of therapy when I was younger. So probably I resolved many, let's call them problems, that occurred in me because of my parents' divorce. So I wouldn't necessarily connect the two dots directly.
No, me neither, because at the end of the day, you were able to commit for 10 years. So I feel like your parents' relationship don't really necessarily...
Fun fact, my ex of 10 years was 8 years older than me. My father is 8 years older than my mother.
Oh, maybe there is.
And the father of my ex has birthday on the same day as my father. The universe is crazy.
That's something that you would probably connect about on your first date.
Yes.
Yeah, people do that. Okay.
People do that.
So there is something more about attachment styles, but we did speak about it. Other people are saying just don't run, which I agree with. Short-term dating, somebody says, ask to go on holiday. When it comes to long, both should be excited to talk about the future. So would you be willing to go on holidays with your temporary whatever partner?
Definitely not. I also think it's crazy to go on holidays with someone that you're just beginning to date.
Yeah?
Yes.
Isn't it a great way to like get to know each other?
Yeah, but also for me, holidays is like Bali, Thailand, like really far, right? So maybe to Germany or France, sure, or maybe Italy, okay, that's doable. But if you're just flying to the other side of the world with a stranger, ill-advised, I would say. No?
Again, I moved in with the stranger and I've been with him ever since.
Maybe when you know, you know.
Honestly, I do think there is something about it. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, when you healed, grown up, and you meet somebody, I don't know, there's this thing like, there's this theory about like gut feeling, you know? Like, I read this book from...
Sorry, we are just making faces. From what? Because I have to say, I have something to say about that.
Well, there's this book that has a very funny title. It's called How Not to Die Alone. It's written, I forgot the lady's name, but she is like a relationship researcher. She was not CEO, but somewhere really high in Hinge, like the dating app. And she's a relationship specialist. And she said in that book that when you're dating and you meet somebody and this person is giving you these butterflies, you should actually take it as a bad sign, because those butterflies a lot of times is actually anxiety and your body responding with anxiety to that person, that actually a potential good partner is going to make you feel very calm. And that reminded me of a lot of times when I was dating in the past. I would like meet somebody and I would like them and everything would be fine, but there would be always some but, like, yeah, he's really nice, but he lives abroad. Yeah, he's really nice, but he has a kid. Yeah, he's really nice, but actually he doesn't match my requirements to have like a solid job, which, you know, call me whatever you want to call me, but I believe that my boyfriend has to make more money than me, period. And I was compromising on those things. And then eventually when I met my partner, I've realized that I've met my perfect person, as in like all my lists
check.
was checked. And then next to this, of course, I just felt so calm about him. Like there wasn't anything that was making me nervous. And I feel like that's that feeling that people refer to, like when you know, you just know.
I really want to agree with you because it really clicks with what you just said. I also just want to highlight that sometimes when you know is an easy way out. Because I think you know after you've done all the work already.
Yeah.
And if you know when you know before you've done all the work, it's just an easy way out.
Yeah.
I wanted to add to the gut feeling because psychology has something to say about it.
Oh.
So the gut feeling is actually everything that happened to you, everything that you experienced, that your body remembers, the neural system, all the neurons that you have in your brain are connecting, but you are just not cognitively and with attention processing that. So it's just all of the thoughts that you already have, everything that's there, but your intellect is just not naming it.
Mm-hmm. So how would that be connected to like animals? Because the way I always explained gut feeling to myself was like this animal instinct, right? Like when animals sense danger, sometimes they don't see the danger yet, but they just feel that they have to run. And I felt like gut feeling is something similar that we have as people, maybe based also on like previous experience.
But also it's a great example why we shouldn't always listen to it, right? Because animals also run into windows. Animals also jump into fire like goats do, right? So our instinct is not always the right thing to follow. It's just like a signal that you should register and be like, okay, so what does it tell me? Like you said, like maybe a perfect match would actually make me feel peaceful.
Yeah.
But again, I think the line, when you know, we said it a lot, but you know after you've done the work.
True.
If you say, I will know what I know before doing all of the work, I just think it's delulu.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know when you know and you commit and you have great relationship, but it's not forever.
Oh yeah. People come and go into your life.
Yeah. I actually, it's a little side note, but actually relevant as well to this topic. Somebody told me a while ago that they don't believe in forever relationships. They believe that relationships is like train trips. So some are shorter, some are longer. And even though I dislike this, I do see how it makes sense because I've listened to a podcast from this Polish psychologist. Forgot her name, don't ask. But she said that she also doesn't believe in this happily ever after because we change as people. So she said that you are not the same person today who you will be in 10 years, and so is your partner. So as much as right now you can be a perfect match, in 10 years you can be very different people, and there might be somebody else for both of you that will match with you way better.
And imagine how beautiful that is.
Yes, but it's also very scary.
See, I think this is also the difference between the two of us. I think it is scary, but it's also beautiful because it gives you this idea that you can be more. And not more as in better, just more as in different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do like that for myself. Like I love the idea of growing and becoming a better version of myself and exploring and, but it does terrify me to think that like my relationship would fall apart and all this work that we're putting in and all this like things that we're going to build up together will be like torn apart or will disappear, and then I'll have to like go on a date again. Trust me, I'm so like, I don't ever want to go on a date again. First, like ever
that's
again.
It.
That's it.
This is the last straw.
That's the last straw. Okay, there's again a question about parent, what are you scared of? How is your relationship with your mommy and daddy? Well, how is your relationship with your mommy and daddy?
I recently actually came out to my father, who took it very well.
Very well.
So kudos to him. I wouldn't say we are very close. I think we are on good terms. And he supports me as much as he can with what he has. With my mom, it's a little bit more complex. She's a little sick, like verified by doctors, sick, not by, I don't have a great relationship with my mom, so something's wrong with her. No, she is just a sick person, and because of that, we have very complicated past, and we don't really speak right now.
Well, thank you for answering, because you didn't have to, but here's the answer to the person. I do want to not add to it per se, but I think a lot of times, not always, do you agree that a lot of times relationship with your parents reflects on your actions in relationships unless you did work?
I had a beautiful opportunity of processing that, right? So I am aware what was happening between them, and I had a chance to name it with my therapist. So of course it influenced me, still influencing me in an unconscious level somewhere, right? Because my body remembers stuff from my childhood. So I would say that my parents for me are more like anti-pattern, right? So I have a great example of how relationship should not work.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, I do catch myself sometimes using words that they were using when I was a child, and I feel super bad because I know that I don't want to say that to someone.
Yeah.
But it just comes so naturally because I've heard it so many times when I was younger.
Yeah. Okay, well, those are the questions. Should we round it up with the advice?
Okay, so here's the deal. You go first, I'll go second. And you'll give advice
to who?
To type A and type B, and I'll give advice to type A and type B.
Okay, so I give my both advice immediately. Okay, my advice to type A. By the way, we asked ChatGPT how to call it because I was referring to this type A. We should have said it at the beginning, but it's a nice cherry on top. So we were discussing how would we call this person, right? Because we're saying fuckboy, but we both agreed that fuckboy is not a right choice of words because fuckboy would be somebody who's lying and manipulating, right? But I was like, it's like this modern type of fuckboy. So indeed, you do say you don't want to commit and all that, but then after all, the aftermath is still the same. So then we asked ChatGPT, how would you call? Do you want to read it out loud or?
But we have so many.
Well, I like those.
Do you remember your favorite one?
Yeah, the anarchist and conscious one.
Yeah. So one was soft fuckboy / conscious fuckboy.
Can you read the definition, what she said?
Yes, people actually use these terms, meaning he has fuckboy behavior patterns, but with honesty, stability, emotional intelligence, and a mortgage.
Like the mortgage, very important one. So if you live on a tree house, you don't qualify to be a conscious fuckboy.
Yep.
A purr. And then there was a relationship anarchist. That was my second favorite one.
That was the high-functioning situationship guy. Sorry, high-functioning situationship guy. Stable, smart, funny, but wants flexibility, not exclusivity. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one?
No. Because I'm still... It's because you're the first person to call me a fuckboy, and I'm still processing that. And
nice one, an honest one, conscious one.
Yes, all that. And with love, with kindness and softness, I agree. I'm still trying to piece that together.
That's okay. That's okay. Alcoholics also don't come in with terms. Don't come with terms oh my goodness, like they don't embrace their label immediately.
Going very deep with that, Dudu, but so let's maybe move on to the advice.
Yeah, okay, so advice. My advice for the conscious fuckboys would be just break up with those. If you see that the person you are dating is not listening, not hearing you, do them a favor, because that happened to me in the past too. And in hindsight, I'm very grateful for that. Just break up with them. That would be the perfect solution. Just tell them, look, I can see that you want more and I don't want you to get hurt. So I think we should just go separate ways. Yeah. And my advice to type B personality, to people B, so like, you know, my advice to myself years ago or to other girlies out there is listen and look. Listen and judge. You know how we listen and don't judge? No, listen and watch, and indeed check if actions match words, if words match actions, and that's a little bit extended advice. And be honest with yourself what you're looking for. So if you truly actually really want a stable relationship and somebody to have future with, and you go on a date with somebody and they literally say it on the first date that they don't really want to commit because whatever, again, like I said already in this podcast, thank them for lovely time and don't let this great time that you had mislead you. Because remember, like literally write it down on a freaking piece of paper. What are your goals? What do you want? And then check in after this date whether that's what you wanted. Don't be like, oh, but it was so nice, I can as well go on second date, because it's going to get only harder to let it go. And sorry, that's the second advice, but if the actions don't match their words, just leave.
I think that's the nugget of knowledge which stayed with both of us after our previous convo. I would give advice to the conscious fuckboy to stay transparent and put type B in a choice situation every now and then.
Yeah, to check in with them. Good one.
To check in with them, right? Because this is where we disagreed last time as well. I don't feel it's on me to make a decision for another adult, right? Yeah. So the best thing I can do is to create an environment which is safe and remind them the terms and what we discussed and where I'm going and what they want of it, and just check in, hey, is it still something that you click with? Do you feel good with it? Like,
but what if you see they're lying? What if you see them saying like,
there are two adults in that room? Yeah, but it's also just so unfair to take on yourself the choices of other people. Like, the best what you can do is just to be as transparent as you can, as honest as you can, and give them a choice, right? And if they say, no, this is not okay for me, just okay, then you do everything that you can in your power to let them go.
Okay.
Because we talked about it as well, right? Don't be the person who's like, hey, how are you? Maybe we should have a dinner. No, like if someone is telling you, this is very difficult for me, I deserve more, with all the kindness and love and empathy that you have for them, give them that space.
Okay.
They made their choice, right? So that's the advice for the fuckboy.
Okay.
For type B situation, I would just say, trust what your fuckboy says. Yeah. If they say they don't want a relationship, trust them that they don't want a relationship.
Yeah, very good one.
Right? Trust them that you are going to have a second date. Trust them that they don't want a second relationship. That's it.
There's this saying, right? Like, believe people, when people tell them about themselves, believe what they say. Yeah. Right? Good one. I think we can round it up with this lovely advice. Thank you so much for sharing so much, and thank you so much for sharing your expertise, answering questions. I had a lovely conversation.
Love it. I had a blast.
Oh my God. And who knows, maybe I'll see you again where we can talk about some other topics. And thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe, all that shebang. But also, most importantly, I really hope that this podcast was insightful for you and that you have learned something, maybe that it gave you some food for thought. Maybe you're going to call your situationship and be like, I want a relationship, and that's
I want to be put in a choice situation right now.
Well, I would hope that. And yeah, I must also add at the very end that I find it also so beautiful how like regardless, like female, male, whatever in between, like at the end of the day, we all have our vulnerabilities and we all need closeness and love. But sometimes we just lack in communication, aka listening and communicating. So let's do better on that. And have a lovely day. And hopefully we'll speak to you, or like you will hear me speaking soon. Bye.
Bye. Take care.